All right, Alan told me I had 5 minutes or less, so I wrote these comments down so I would try to keep it to that. So I apologize, but anyway, really delighted to be here. I was going to talk a little bit about the intersection between biomedical informatics and the ISP, since that's where I come from, the field of biomedical informatics. So the ISP began, and there wasn't a biomedical informatics track at that point. It was not until 1991 that the ISP developed a track, and I think a lot of the credit for that, the leadership of that, goes to Bruce Buchanan, who spearheaded that. I was helping him, but he really spearheaded it. I also wanted to mention that parallel to that, in sort of a sister way, the section of medical informatics, Division of General Internal Medicine, Department of Medicine at Pitt, received a training grant in 1987, so pretty much the same year that the program started, ISP. This training grant came in from the National Library of Medicine to support graduate students in pursuing degrees, and it was quite flexible in the same way that the ISP is quite flexible in terms of which department you could be in. You just needed to be doing biomedical informatics. And a number of you here who are alumni have been supported by that program and know that program well. But Randy Miller was the PI of that program, so the grant has continued and been successfully renewed every 5 years for the last 31 years. Harry Hockheiser, who's here, is the PI of that grant through the Department of Biomedical Informatics. So then in 2001, skipping ahead quite a bit by 10 years or so, there was a formal degree program that was started in biomedical informatics. Until that point, folks would get their degrees through the ISP, and they could also concentrate in the track in biomedical informatics. But Chuck Friedman came here and started a formal training program in biomedical informatics. Like the ISP, it was a program and not a department. It was not. We had a Center for Biomedical Informatics, so it was really a university started a program. I think that's actually one of the things I respect about the University of Pittsburgh, that it allows these kind of programs to start and be organic and grow, and has the faith in the faculty and in the concept of these kinds of nascent startup efforts, that they allowed this kind of thing. I don't think that happens everywhere. So I think part of the credit to this goes to the university and some of the leadership that's allowed this kind of work, these kinds of programs to start out small and grow. So, you know, it's 2006 was another year that I wanted to point out. That's when the Department of Biomedical Informatics was established here at the University of Pittsburgh, and then the program in biomedical informatics was administered through DBMI. So I wanted to mention that about half of the faculty now in DBMI are also faculty members in the ISP. So we have a large number of our biomedical informatics faculty who are involved in the ISP currently. Finally, I wanted to just reflect for a moment on why have the ISP and biomedical informatics worked so well together over the years through these various transitions of getting a degree program. Why didn't everybody just start getting their degree in biomedical informatics through the Department of Biomedical Informatics, and why did they keep an affiliation with the ISP, even though they both had mature, established programs, and that could have happened? And here are my thoughts about that. One is goodwill among the people that were in these two programs. I think the personalities, including ISP faculty over the years, and the directors who are here today and some who are not, they included Bruce Buchanan and Jan Wiebe, both of who couldn't be here, but who I worked closely with at one time and highly respect. People like this, people like the directors up here. I think there was a lot of goodwill and a lot of trust between these programs that the other people in the other programs would do the right thing, and they were honest and had the right motivations for their programs and for the university and for education. I think another point was good complementarity of a program focused on advanced computational methods, the ISP, and one focused on a wide range of complex, important, and real-world problems, biomedical informatics. Another is a steady source of funding over the years that I mentioned from the NLM through their training program in biomedical informatics. I think that helps sustain the ability to actually practically fund folks to work at this intersection. And the flexibility of the ISP curriculum that allowed training and research to adapt to the needs of students in the ISP biomedical informatics track, and some of that, those points have been made. So I think a final point is that the ISP and biomedical informatics have had the good fortune to be fields that have grown significantly in the past 30 years in terms of the number of investigators who are involved in those fields, the amount of funding that's available, the extent of scientific progress that's being made in the two areas, and an increase in social status, which can influence the knowledge of and the interest of prospective students to want to be involved in those programs and their intersection. So in closing, I really wish I could be here in 30 years to see how things turn out at that point regarding the ISP and biomedical informatics. And my guess is that the speakers will be discussing how successful the relationship is and has been for the past 60 years. And in fact, perhaps one of the younger people here will be making those remarks about that success, and many other remarks about those two fields that we can scarcely imagine. So, thank you.